Welcome to another dev update for ServerJockey. In this video, I'll be going through some new features in the recently released versions 0.8 and 0.9. So in 0.8, the main feature was support for Palworld, and in 0.9 was a technical release, the main feature being support for Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. So that's the latest long-term support release of Ubuntu, which was released a couple of months ago. So ServerJockey should work fine on that OS now. But version 22 LTS is still the recommended version. So if I just switch over to a running ServerJockey web app here to go through some of the other features. The full set of games supported now are Project Zomboid, Factorio, 7 Days to Die, Starbound, Unturned, Counter-Strike 2, and Palworld. So these last two were recent additions. These pages give you instructions on how to install the servers using the web app, as well as additional information. Unfortunately, with Palworld, because very little is actually logged to the server log, the support for it is just the basics. So if I create a new instance here for a Palworld server, you can see the features that are supported. When you start the server, you can run console commands. So there's a few that are allowed for this particular server. You can update the configuration. The configuration defaults will be populated when after you first run the server. Then there's the deployment section to where you can install the server and the backups. So some of the other more advanced features, such as being able to like the chat integration, viewing of the player metrics isn't available yet. In the future, I will support that if the server logs information that I can extract to use for that. So back to the documentations, the guides section. I've added a page for the command line interface. So ServerJockey has a command line interface. So if you have terminal access to the machine where you're hosting, and you have some familiarity using in the terminal, you can use the command line interface. So it's serverjockey_cmd.pyz. Use the -h option, will show you the help information. So the CLI has tasks and commands, which you can read through here to get more information. There's also a backup example at the end of this page. To give you an example of how you can use the command line interface to take the server down, create a backup, and restart it again. So this is how you can sort of automate some of the server management using the CLI client. Also, the VirtualBox distribution, also called Zombox. I've added additional documentation to show how to care for this particular distribution. I've also installed Samba for file sharing. So this is disabled by default, but if you log into the Zombox and enable this file sharing service, you'll be able to use Windows to browse the files and upload and download files. So that can help quite a bit with managing your server instance. And finally, to go to the home page, down the bottom to the system section, I've also added the ability to automatically generate SSL certificates for HTTPS. So now you can just hit this button and it will generate the certificates for you. You will need to restart the system for that to take effect. And then in the URL, you can put in HTTPS instead of HTTP, and you should have a secure connection. But as per the comments here, because it's using a self-signed certificate, the browser will issue all sorts of security warnings because it's expecting certificates to be signed by a third party. So that's quite a useful feature if you want to host over the internet and you want the connection encrypted. So that's it.